Hello everybody, Luther for Life here, and welcome back to Killed by Links. So many decks have been killed by links, and we are going to cover one at a time, hopefully one a week, or so. That's my goal at least, and also bring back archetype analysis. But as beside the point, so today, as I said the last time, we are talking about Burning Abyss. So, a little bit of background on Burning Abyss. Obviously, I don't know how many of you guys know this or not, but it's based off of Dante's Inferno, which I honestly tried to read because this deck came out, and I couldn't get past the first page. It hurt my head so much. I really want to go back and try it again. But Dante's Inferno is a really cool story. I know of the story and the general gist of it, but I've never actually read the full book. And the deck is also really cool. The Burning Abyss archetype is one of the most hated, but yet also at the time most loved archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh! This deck was part of the meta for 3 freaking years. Almost the entirety of freaking Arc V era. Almost the entirety of the Arc V era, this deck was in the meta. It came out in Duelist Alliance, if I remember correctly, and it didn't really get phased out of the meta until like ABC format. It was around for so long, and because of how long it lasted and how much this deck was just like so resistant to the ban list and everything, it gained a lot of notoriety. Some people hate this deck, some people love it though. Personally, I really like playing it, especially the Malakota build, because I just have this fondness of rituals, and Malakota is just awesome. But the deck, God, this deck is just not functional under Link format, and you might be wondering why. Well, at the very core essence of it, this deck is a rank 3 spam deck. Yes, it only has one rank 3, but this thing is a stupid good rank 3. Dante Traveler to Burning Abyss, being able to just send any 3 cards, well, the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, becoming a 2500 beat stick, and then, oh hey, if he dies, he adds back a Burning Abyss card in your graveyard, so if you have multiples out, he can recycle himself. And that is just stupid. This deck works so incredibly well. It has such a huge amount of consistency and power that it is almost absurd. And thanks to stuff like Tour Guide and a Rhino card, I think he's like called, what was it, Rhino something? Yeah, Phoenix Rhino Warrior. Thanks to Phoenix Rhino Warrior, the deck is just able to just do so much, and it has so much other like outside benefits. You know, I mean, like heck, for a while people were playing rank up Magic. What was it? That rank up Magic you can add back from a graveyard to your hand. Astral Force. Some people were playing that for a bit, so then they can make like the zombie, the rank 5, you know, the vampire one, as well as also making stuff like Pleiades and everything. Granted, that phased out really quick, but however, due to just the versatility of this deck, there's so many different ways to play it. But however, this deck is not functional in Link format, and the biggest reason why is that all of the main deck monsters, each and every single one of them, say, if you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster, destroy this card. And that's flat out the biggest reason why. And so, if you, like, let's say, for instance, you want to make a Deco Talker. Okay, so they all have the same effect where you can just special summon them from your hand, but you can't use the other effect. And you can't have any back row at the time. So you can just special summon them from the hand, okay, special summon 3 that you don't really care about, and then make Deco Talker. Okay, cool, now you just open up 2 spaces. But unless you have Tour Guide, you can't make use of those spaces. And Tour Guide is still at 1. And obviously the reason is that links are now required to make more than 1 Xyz or more than 1 Synchro or anything else. And so, yeah, you just literally cannot have any more than just 1 monster out at the same time from the extract. And that is absurd. It really is. And it's the biggest reason why Burning Abyss is just not going to be as entirely functional under Link format. I'm personally going to try, but I really don't see it being workable under Link format. Now, one other thing that you could do is you could do the Malakota build, which has some merit to it. I mean, hey, he's searchable thanks off of pre-preparation of rights and preparation of rights, and he's honestly a really good boss monster. He's just overshadowed by the 4 extra monsters that is in this deck that are all infinitely better than him. But however, honestly, that's probably going to be the way it's going to go until this deck gets its own Link monster. Which, I will say this, if this deck gets its own Link monster, then this deck is going to be fine. Unless the Link Monster is just abhorrently bad and has terrible Link markers or something. This deck will be fine under Link format if it gets a Link Monster, which we have no idea if it will. And until it does, this deck is just borderline unplayable under Link format, which really does suck, because this deck is legitimately fun. Being able to spam out Dante's and, you know, making Beatrice and controlling the board and screwing over your opponent with stuff like Fire Lake and everything. The only saving grace, other than it getting a Link Monster, which I don't really see happening, at least not anytime soon, is Fiendish Rhino Warrior, this dude. Because while you control him, your Fiend type monsters cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So you gotta, but that still eats up your normal summon. That still eats up your normal summon so much. And yeah, like you can't special summon him off of Graph or Sir, because they only special summon Burning Abyss monsters. Granted, he is searchable off of Skarm, which is nice. But like, he eats up your normal summon, and you generally want to try and use your normal summon for other things. And generally speaking, considering how much, what's the word that I'm looking for, how much resources you already have to put into for making your Xyz or your Synchro or anything else, you're not going to have enough resources to also make like a Decode Talker or anything like that. Now, this deck might become a bit more playable if we get a dark, you know how we got Mostar Boy and Mrs. Radiant? If we get a dark one of those with like those exact same effects, then this deck might be a bit more playable. But even then, Fiendish Rhino Warrior is still going to be necessary for the deck, which really does suck because this thing does eat up your normal summon. And now, another big saving grace is, of course, the Traveler and the Burning Abyss. The only issue is that this card is a trap card, and no one was playing it to begin with, and I don't think anybody's going to want to incorporate it in the future. But, however, it's just, there's just so many issues. Like, really, honestly, the big issue is the whole Link Monster thing. You have to have a Link Monster out, and they say, oh, hey, that's not a Burning Abyss, def. I don't get it. Like, I don't really get the, like, if there's a lore reason why that they kill themselves if you have a non-Burning Abyss monster, but I don't know. Anyways, guys, so I think I've just pretty much said everything. If I just keep repeating myself, I don't want to. Honestly, I really do feel like that the Malakota build might be the way to go. I mean, you can obviously still make use of the Xyz and everything. But, however, I really do feel like that the Malakota build might be the way to go. At least until this deck gets a Link Monster. Once it gets a Link Monster, this deck is going to be so much more functional. But even then, I don't see it happening anytime in the future, because they want to focus on FA and Vendred now. And heck, the only reason why we got the Subterror and the Spiral Link monsters is because they're being released in Japan. And Konami knows that no one's going to want to play those decks unless they give them something new, because Japan just has zero interest in it. And heck, even then, the deck's still, like, no one cares over there. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Burning Abyss is going to be fine under Link format? Do you think I'm totally wrong? Do you think that you totally agree? What's your opinions on Burning Abyss under Link format? Again, personally, I don't see this deck really being functional under Link format too much. But, however, I could be entirely wrong. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And see y'all later. Be sure to look out for the next week's episode of Killed by Links. I think I'm going to cover Super Quantums next. See y'all later. Peace out. Lived for life. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to my 2 Patreons so far. To my 2 wonderful, wonderful Patreons, Cambrock223 and Night Zone. You guys are incredibly, incredibly awesome. And it just, I can't express my thanks enough. Thank you guys both. And I hope everybody has a great day. See y'all later. Peace out.